Dave was pretty disappointed after the game on Saturday. How was the review? Was it one of the more honest ones you guys have done since starting up a couple months ago?
The review process was a good one. So what we did is we broke the game down into 20-minute quarters, and throughout the whole squad, they each were given a 20-minute portion. They then had to review what was good, what was poor, how we could manage it, as well as that they had the advantage of the stats to see the ebb and flow of the game. And it was a great process. Really good process. It was a long process, but at the end of it, I think we end up with tactical growth, which is good, which is what we want.
Would you say the mood of the group in the sort of 24 hours after that, even though it was a draw, I think Whitey said it felt like it was a losing draw, is that as flat as the boys have been throughout the Tri-Nations?
Yep, without a doubt.
And what, because it felt it was like a missed opportunity
Yeah,
to win?
they were dead. With 20 to go, they were gone. So we opened the door up. Tactically, probably a little naive at certain stages, discipline. So it's the one that got away.
So how much will change for you guys then in the next 2 weeks?
In regard to?
Well, Bankwest Stadium next weekend, how much will change from weekend gone to this one?
Yeah, look, we've just got to, I think discipline is definitely an area that we need to tighten up on. And when I say discipline, it's more so just reacting to niggle. You're playing a Latin team. It's emotion, it runs hot. We've just got to be calm, collected, composed, tactically smart. Yeah.
Do you feel like you let them get under your skin in the second half? Is that really what you're saying?
No, I just think that there was certain things. Obviously, there was some niggle there, but it was also the fact that the game was in control and it was then going out of control. So I think that was frustrating. So I think it was more so frustration.
I saw at training before James O'Connor there on the sidelines still. How's he faring?
He's good. He's looking good, the old Rabs, isn't he? What do you think? He looks all right, doesn't he?
Is he?
He looks all right. He's a good-looking boy. He's a good-looking lad. No, look, James is going well. He's been terrific for the team and the coaching staff insofar as his feedback, his thoughts. He's definitely matured a lot. I've known James for a long time, and I can't help but be really impressed with I suppose, his maturity, how he now looks at the game, and I think that's a credit to the Queensland staff up there. So with Brad Thorne and Jimmy Mackay, what they've done up there, they've really grown him as a player. So they've done a terrific job.
On the injury front?
Yep.
On the injury front, do you think he'll be a strong chance to play?
Look, we're hoping. Yeah, we're hoping. So, I can't give you a definitive yes or no at the moment, but he has started rehab running. He's back on the park, and we're hopeful. Yep.
A couple other Queenslanders were going quite well, Hunter and Geordie. Have you been surprised? Like, I think Hunter played a lot of junior footy at 12. He was saying, I think it was his second or third game on the weekend at senior level he's played at 12. Have you been surprised at how well he's gone there?
No, that's why we put him there. No, look, the thing is that certain players get pigeonholed at certain times in their lives. So Hunter's aggressive. We know that he can hit in defence, and we know that he can run hard. So people see that, and then he gets pigeonholed as a hard-running hitter. He's actually got a lot of subtlety to his game. Can kick off both feet. Got a nice passing game, good tempo. So really, we want to evolve him into a triple threat where he can run, pass, kick. That's where we see Hunter's future. Really proud of how he's performed.
Do you see that combo? I know Matt Timmer's obviously going to be in the mix for a number of years yet, but do you see that combo as potentially the future for you guys in the field there?
Look, it's a combo. So once again, when Matt comes back, and let's hope that next year with Super we find a couple of other shining lights, and that's just all bets are off. It's about competition. And Dave said it from day one. We pick whoever's in form, who's training well. And you've seen it throughout this series. We've been really consistent with that. So, but they're going well as a centre pairing. They're doing really well at the moment.
Just one more from me.
Yep.
You coming into this group, I'm sure you had a picture of what the Wallabies attack was like and did all your homework before you came into this camp.
Yep.
Now you've only got one game left. How do you sort of feel like as the attack in particular has developed under your watch? Are you happy with where it's at, and like having that blank canvas when you started? Do you feel like it's come along in the last 2 months?
Yeah, look, I think we've created lots. So we've created lots and lots and lots of opportunities in the 5 games that we've played. Probably, if I'm going to be critical, and let's call it as it is, we haven't finished. We've had opportunities and we've got to be better at finishing. So that's around our skill level. We've got to get better at our skill level and our decision making. They're the 2 big ones. So if I'm a realist, the realistic thing is that we've been really poor at those 2, but we've created lots of chances.
Anything else, Nathan?
Yeah.
Anything online, guys? Christy, Mel, Dan?
Cool. I'll just kick it off. If you're chasing a bonus point, obviously we're talking hypotheticals, but it looks likely that you'll need a bonus point to get your hands on a Tri Nations trophy. Do you have to make a few changes to search for points, and does O'Connor become a bigger threat at 10?
Hypotheticals, Christy. So ideal, in fact. So I'm sorry to shut you down, mate, but we'll see how it goes on Sunday. And look, it's a good question. We actually haven't discussed that as a coaching group right now. Like the questions in the past, it's been about review process, moving forward, what are some of the basic structures we want, and then we'll get the detail later in the week and then post-Saturday.
Sure. And you said you broke the match into 4 quarters. Clearly the Wallabies lost the game statistically on the scoreboard in the final quarter, but of the 4 quarters, what were you most happy and least happy with?
Probably most happy with the chances and the ordering of our plays in that first 20 minutes. We created plenty. And then I'm unhappy because we didn't finish them. So, you look at Marika's disallowed try. You look at, the grubber through for Geordie, just a fraction long. I thought that, we had them at 6s and 7s as far as the way that the boys had called the plays, the order of them. It was fantastic. Some OT ball, off the top ball, I'm talking slang. And then, go to maul, go to the front of the line out. It was pretty good. So I was happy with that. If I was to say which quarter are you least happy with, well, it's pretty obvious. It'd be the last 20 minutes.
Scott, it's Mel from AAP. Is that the first time that the team has done a review like that? Just of your watch, anyway?
Hey, Mel. Yes. Yeah. So look, I've done it in the past, and so has Dave. And it was Dave's idea. Dave just said, "Listen, let's do this review differently." So what happened was, in the morning, we had a full team meeting, and they were divided into 4 groups, and they were told this is the task, and they could watch the footage. So they all went away to separate rooms, watched the footage, cut clips, maximum of 4 clips per group, and then they had to actually say why it was good or poor, and then marry it in with the stats and the flow of the game. I think it was great because we've got a generation of sports people, and I'm being really generalist here, in all codes, that watch highlight reels, just watch themselves because it's very easy to click on a button and see all your own individual actions. But it was a really good process because what you end up doing is you get the full context of the game. You get to feel the ebbs and flows when the energy's with us, when it's fading. And then you can ask the questions of what can we do to keep the energy or to get it back. So I thought it was a brilliant process, a great learning tool for the players.
have you found in the past that perhaps you've uncovered a bit of something from left field, or any of the players have surprised you, I guess, with what their perception of the game, that their takeaway from it is?
Yeah, I think the beauty about it is in those smaller groups, everyone gets a voice, and out of that you get little nuggets of gold. You like that, don't you? Gold, Wallabies, jersey. I actually hadn't even thought about that. I'm pretty happy with myself. Anyway, look, we get little nuggets of gold, and then from that, you can grow the team and you get ideas, and that's about your growth, whether it's in attack, it's in defence, it's set piece, and it might even be growth around the way that we review things or communication. So yeah, it's definitely a good process.
Can I just ask what?
And just one on Rhys Hodge, do you see that he's there was a perception, I guess, that he's a bit of a stopgap number 10, but do you see that there's more to him in that regard? And is he a genuine selection choice there, I suppose? Like, is he there because your other options are like maybe inexperienced or injured, or, you know, how do you sort of see him, and how have you seen his growth over the past couple of games? Because some people have rated him, you know, as one of your best players.
He's been great. Hodgie's been really good. The one thing you know about Rhys is that he's a true professional. He knows every role of each position. He's versatile, he's diligent, and he's willing to learn. He's a listener. So he's willing to learn and adapt. So I think he's done really well. He's done a great job for us.
Danica, did you have one?
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Sorry, Mel. Sorry, Mel. I'm torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool.
Sorry, Mel. Go.
Could you see that you might reach out to Dave Weckles about him playing 10, like through the Super Rugby season? Do you have that conversation?
No, I haven't had the conversation yet. Will I have the conversation? Look, Dave and I'll have a chat, but at the end of the day, that's their decision. That's his program, and as the Wallaby staff, our job when Super Rugby is on is to support the Super Rugby franchises. So we're a resource for them. We're not telling them. We're a resource. So that obviously if franchises have projects, have ideas, and they need some research done, we can do that. If they need sessions on the field, we can do that. But we're certainly not going to be telling them that you must play Rhys Hodge at 10.
And Scott, if I can just ask one more. Sorry, Marty, I know you guys got things to do. Scott, first phase, you look pretty threatening.
Yep.
Particularly off line out ball. Is the inexperience of Rhys playing at 10, does that contribute to when it becomes multi-phase, harder to get that little bit of continuity and rhythm and feel how to work and an opposition?
Oh, look, I think it's the whole team. I think it's just the detail around it, Christy. So, like we said before, I said early doors, it's just the detail, the skill, the execution, taking your chances. That's what really, really good teams do. We keep talking about we want to be the best team in the world. It's a bold statement, really bold statement. But you have to aim high, set the standards high, set the bar high. We could go back and play kick and clap, you know, sit in a corner, pump corners, all the rest of it. And look, you can make progress and, you know, you could maybe go up the world rankings a little bit, but it's not going to win you a World Cup.
Danica, did you have one?
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you were talking about the review before and how they split off into different groups, and you said they came up with some little nuggets of gold.
Yep.
Who came up with the best nugget of gold?
There's probably the best nuggets were around the communication. They spoke openly about, hang on, I want this. This is what's happened. This was called. Why didn't we follow this? So there was honest, open conversations done respectfully, but there was no holes barred. And the great thing about it is the way that Dave has framed reviews and meetings with the team is that if things are said, then when we walk out the door, nothing's left where it's hanging and people hold on to things. It's really clear there's a solution.
A bit like an honesty session, would you say?
Well, every day's an honesty session, isn't it? You're either good or you're poor. There's no middle ground. Same as training. You're either on or you're not. And we rate every player after every session. And whether it's a gym session, a flexibility session, an on-field session, doesn't matter. It all counts.